Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, picture this. Your trackside, vintage RC race, pit lanes buzzing, you've got restored RC10s, Kyosho Ultimas, beautiful old Tamiya
Oh
frogs.
yeah, absolute classics.
Right. And on the driver's stand, you see, well, everyone, different generations. But there's this question floating around online, you hear it at tracks too.
Mm-hmm.
Are these age-based classes like a master's division popping up because the veteran racers are just tired of getting smoked by the younger guys?
Well, it's a great question, and it's definitely something people are talking about. But what we found in this deep dive is it's a bit more complicated than just that.
Okay.
Explicit age classes, not super common everywhere locally, but, and this is key, they do exist formally. ROAR, the big governing body, sanctions them for national events.
RO,
Right.
remotely operated auto racers, right?
That's the one. And their rules kind of legitimize the whole idea of age classes. But really, our mission today is to dig into why people race these awesome old cars. It's less about age itself, more a philosophical thing.
Interesting. So if most local races aren't strictly splitting by age, how are they dividing up the drivers? What's the usual structure?
Yeah, good question. Mostly it boils down to two main things. The cars themselves, technical parity, making sure the equipment is similar, and driver skill.
So equipment first, like spec classes.
Exactly. You get classes like 17.5 two-wheel drive buggy or maybe 25.5 vintage Trans Am. That means specific motors, usually non-adjustable timing on the speed control, that blinky mode everyone talks about.
Right, keeps the playing field level on power.
Precisely. And for vintage specifically, you have strict rules about the car's era. 1994 and earlier for a big events main buggy class, or maybe plastic tub chassis only for another.
Yeah.
Keeps things period correct, mostly.
Okay, so equipment rules. What about the skill part?
So lots of tracks use skill levels. Think rookie, sportsman, maybe intermediate, expert, how you're placed, purely based on how you race. Win a few races as a rookie, boom, you're bumped up to sportsman.
And that's totally age blind then.
Completely. And that's actually where some of the friction comes in. Because that system, fair as it sounds, inherently rewards raw speed, lightning reflexes.
Stuff that often favors younger drivers.
Often, yeah. And maybe aggressive setups that weren't around back in the day, so the veterans who might be more into the history or just enjoying the car can get frustrated. The system doesn't really reward, nostalgia.
Okay, I see. So the system rewards speed. Younger drivers often have an edge there. But the formal age classes aren't common locally. Where does RR fit back into this picture? You said they legitimize it.
Right. RR is the official rule maker for the U.S. and Canada. And way back in their 2007 rulebook, section 5.3.2, they explicitly encouraged creating classes for juniors, that's 15 and under, and masters.
Masters being older racers.
Usually 40 and over, sometimes 45 for certain classes like Nitro on road. And they don't just encourage it, they do it. They're national championships. You'll often see Junior 17.5 buggy or Masters mod buggy. It's a standard offering at that top level.
Ah, so that's the trickle down. Even if my local track doesn't have a master's class yet, the fact that Rora runs them makes it feel like a normal, accepted thing. It fuels the conversation.
Exactly. It gives people the idea, plants the seed. So when you hear talk about age classes, it's often rooted in that Aurora precedent.
Which brings us back to that philosophical clash you mentioned. It's not just old versus young, speed versus something else.
Precisely. You've basically got two main mindsets clashing. Let's call one the curator. Often older racers, they love the history, the restoration, the vibe, a throwback to the 80s and 90s. They worry about breaking rare parts.
Okay, the preservers.
Yeah. Then you have the competitor, often younger, but not always. They see the vintage rules as just another set of specs to optimize. They'll take that classic chassis and max it out with modern brushless motors, LiPo batteries, 2.4 gig radios.
Creating a sort of high-tech hybrid, a technological chimera, as you put it.
Right. They want to push the car to its absolute limit and win. Winning is the main goal. It's just a different way of appreciating the same platform.
Yeah. And you see pipeline classes, like maybe specs, feeding that super competitive mindset into vintage.
Absolutely. Young, fast drivers often cut their teeth in classes like that, learning aggressive driving, and then they bring that energy that win at all costs sometimes into other classes, including vintage.
So that master's class, the one RR sanctions, it's not just about age, is it? It's a place for the curators.
In many ways, yes. It becomes a sort of self-selected philosophical class. It allows racers who share that appreciation for history, maybe a bit more respect for the equipment, and camaraderie alongside the racing, to find each other.
So, wrapping this up, the whole age division debate isn't really about tracks everywhere suddenly splitting racers by age. It's more about this underlying tension, this friction between different reasons for racing these old cars.
That's the heart of it. And for the hobby to really thrive, we need to acknowledge that divide, maybe create some purpose-driven classes. Well, maybe a classic stock class. Really strict box stock rules, maybe awards for best period correct build or spirit of the event. Emphasize the nostalgia, make it cheaper to get into.
That could bridge the gap. What else?
Mentorship is huge. Pair up veterans with the rookies or juniors. Pass on setup tips, sure, but also the history, track etiquette, that respect for the gear. And race directors can help too. Emphasize the spirit of the class in meetings. Remind everyone it's about fun, respect, and keeping this history alive.
It sounds like finding ways to integrate everyone is key, respecting the history and the energy of the new competitors. So, thinking about all this, what does it really mean for the future of vintage RC racing for you? Where does it go from here?